Oh, it is recording.
Okay, hello.
Hello.
That's Tim.
That's weird.
That's okay. So I don't normally make videos. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this one. If I'm gonna post it on the tumbles.
You're probably gonna delete it.
Probably not. I keep everything. So we just went to Thor to dose. What's 2 in French? I don't know. And I'm feeling pretty overwhelmed. Could say that I'm feeling nauseous and I have a headache. And it's pretty emotional, wasn't it?
Yeah. Loki was the first scene. Loki was the last scene. She was pretty happy.
I was. This is not a spoiler-free, obviously not, video, so click out of this
It's
immediately.
too late for that.
No, everybody knows Loki's sassy anyway. He's the sass queen. Where? Alright, I'm gonna tell you straight up. First complaint, first thought on my mind. Where was the scene where he's in that stupid fur coat and he goes, give them what they want? I was waiting for that.
I didn't even see that. You didn't show it to me yet.
They didn't have that in the movie at all. But what they did have was tears and pain and sorrow and misery and death. Frigga, whatever, was a badass. Single-handedly defeated Malekith until some tryhard came off from the side and like shanked her.
High.
Huh?
He was like tripping on whatever that stuff was.
What? The ether?
Yeah. Or whatever was shoved into him.
I don't know. The premise of the movie was that before the Doctor met Rose, Christopher Eccleston was a dark elf, and he went cray on something called ether. He created it. It's basically dark matter, and you can like destroy anything you want, ever. And it was a dark time for the Doctor.
Yeah.
Rose really saved his life in so many ways, more than one. Anyway.
Rose is the best. We're gonna stop.
We're gonna stop right there. So there's creepy ass dark elf masks. They're pretty cool. I liked their design. I like elves in general. I don't care what kind they are. I like
they
them.
weren't exactly good.
They had guns. I just realized that. They had guns.
I said that in the car like 4 times.
Oh, did you? I'm just, like tripping. I'm still tripping on Loki.
It was kind of ridiculous. For a civilization that's been like extinct for a couple thousand years, they have guns. Well, you think that as
they had like laser guns. They had like Halo 3 guns. Like Tim and I were discussing this in the car. Like I was like, okay, so the Dark Elves have been there since before light. So think of mythology, darkness, light. If you've ever taken a myth class, whatever. When the Dark Elves ruled with the darkness, and they have ships, like in Star Trek, and they have guns, and which is cool, whatever, because they're like the first, and then, you know, it cuts to Asgard, and then it cuts to like, eventually, the Dark Elves invading Asgard, and they just completely obliterate.
They didn't even have an army. They had like
a handful of soldiers.
And they just like brought Asgard to its knees.
Yeah, they destroyed the castle, killed Frigga, set everybody free in the dungeon. I mean, those cages are made of magic. I mean... Yeah,
and then just, like, vanished, and then their ship's just chilling above Asgard.
They can make their ships invisible. I know, it's just sitting above the castle and waiting.
No one can see it.
But, like, the Asgardians have, like, swords and shields, and...
The swords did glow, though, so it was kind of cool. In a couple thousand years, they figured out how to make their swords glow.
Exactly! But that was a little irritating, but... You're too caught up in it to notice very much. I'm going to try to start from beginning to end. Okay, so we have...
Loki's escape.
Where did we go? Okay, so we just mentioned... So yeah, nothing really important happens until Malekith and his homies invade Asgard. And,
Well, I guess what was...
Wait. Let me talk about Loki a little bit, because I completely forgot. Okay, so I mentioned Loki a few times. Or it shows him in his south. Oh, no. Actually, you know what? The opening scene was Loki in those chains that we all love.
Sexual thoughts.
Yeah. But those tumblers, well, that was your fault. And He was kind of a bitch to his mom. I wanted to smack him across the mouth when he was like, "Are you not proud of me, mother?" I was like, "Shut the hell up! Like, you're a little punk ass bitch. Like, this person loves you." I think you got more
pissed off when he was in the jail and his mom was there.
Let me get to that. Right. Okay. So yeah, he sassed his mother. And then he sassed Odin, which is understandable. I would sass Odin too. I hate him.
It's not that I don't love her. It's not that
I know. Odin was lecturing him, and Loki was just like done, and he was like, "It's not that I don't love our little talks. It's just I don't love them." And I was just like, "Yes." And then he called Thor an oaf, which was the best because no one uses that insult anymore. Mm-hmm. He was like, "What about Thor? You're gonna place that oaf in the throne?" And Odin, of course, like, "Yeah, he's my son. I love him deeply in my heart." And so
he's Southern. Yeah. Odin's just a hick.
And so he's in the cage, which is really cool. I wouldn't mind being a prisoner up in there. He has a mirror. He has a mirror in his he has a mirror to check himself out. Moving on. With his fabulous hair. His hair was less fabulous in this movie than the Avengers. It's kind of all over the place.
It only kind of looked like he was like high on crack.
Heroin. But it was really sad. It cuts to a scene where he's talking to Frigga and he's angry and he's back and he's sassing her again. And she's like, "Your father," and he cuts her off screaming, "Odin is not my father." And then she goes, "Am I not your mother?" And I'm just like, come on, you love her. And he says, "No." And that hurt me on a spiritual level. And then, boom, he waves her away. She's an illusion. And I was like, still not okay. He's so lonely. And it's not the fact that he had to conjure up an illusion to entertain himself. It's that it was Frigga.
Yeah. And that it actually everybody said something like that.
So. But anyway.
I think you should mention how Jane got the stuff in her, because that's kind of a
Jane got corrupted. Her ass got corrupted by the ether, the dark matter that destroys everything, because Darcy.
She's a dumb bitch.
No, Darcy and her intern, she's an intern now. It's also her love interest. He's really funny. They stumble into this building, and then Jane accidentally stumbles into this gravitational force field that teleports her to where the ether's stored, and she touches it. No, actually, it grabs her. I thought she was gonna be a dumbass and touch it. It grabbed her, and kind of went inside her face, and it was kind of badass.
Some demonic shit going on in that movie.
And then every time somebody tried to touch her, they'd get blown up because boom. So Thor is just like, "I'm gonna take you to Asgard and we're gonna heal you," and Odin's pissed.
And that's when Malekith shows up at Asgard.
And Odin is the biggest Thor and Sif shipper ever. It's funny because Sif is so fine and Thor should be with Sif.
Should really happen.
Because Thor's talking to Jane. He's like, "I believe fate brought us together," and I'm like, 2 days you met in Thor, 2 days, and then you went and you didn't even go see her in the Avengers because you were busy. It's okay. And then, how long do you think this movie was? 2 days again? If that?
Yeah, 2 or 3.
Yeah. And you know Sif your whole life, practically, I'm assuming.
They're set to go after, a week.
Oh my god, she's so hot. Making the wrong choice. Give her a mood, bro. Sif.
Ah.
She's my queen.
She was, pretty cool when she said that she was, gonna stall the guards.
Right.
And her sword just turned into double-edged.
When Thor decides that he needs to... okay, so I've been getting off topic. Okay, so Frigga dies, I said in the beginning. She, grabs a soldier's dagger, defeats him, has the dagger to his throat. She's about to kill him, and then one of the corrupted soldiers, who was just basically high on that ether stuff, comes out of nowhere. He's shanks
Superman.
Her. It's retarded. Sorry.
He can block off meow meow. I was like, what is this? He literally deflected it. It was nothing.
It was stupid, and I was like...
Ultra steroids for aliens.
What? Alright. Odin and Thor, they're there at the time. They, see her die. And so Odin comes over and, holds her. I mean, she's dead, but holds her in his arms, and Thor's just, watching. He's like, oh, crap. And he's sad, obviously. And then the funeral scene was gorgeous. Oh
you
my
go out like
God,
that?
I want to go out like that. Like,
take it to like Niagara Falls and just burn your body
it was,
as it goes over.
It wasn't about the burning. It was just beautiful. They covered her in like violet lace, her face, and they put a sword like against her chest and a bow and with rose petals. I was just like, oh my God, do that to me, please, and put me in a river and over a waterfall and set me on fire.
See,
that's the way I want to go. That's the way I want to go. But that angered me, and then it cuts to Loki again in the cage, and he's reading. And a soldier comes up to him, and you don't hear any dialogue, but you see Loki nod, and then the soldier goes away. And that's the clip everybody sees on Tumblr and the internet when he like stands up and like flexes and everything. All the furniture just like kaboom. But then it's done, and I'm like, wait, that's it? Like that's all we get? Until Thor decides that he needs to talk to Odin, says we need to go after Malekith and Aether, and Odin's like, no.
We're gonna fight to the death.
We're gonna fight to the death. And Thor's like, I can just defeat him by myself with Jane, and that could be easy. And Odin was like, no. He's being like all stubborn. And so Thor gets the 3 warriors and Sif to help him to break out. And Heimdall, he was a pimp. He was pretty pimpish in this movie. But to break out Loki,
that one fight scene when he like jumped on
when he jumped on a ship with some daggers, just like
he daggered a ship.
I know.
That's how
he
you know.
Climbed up a ship with daggers. It was awesome.
That's how you know someone's bad. That's when they destroyed a ship with daggers.
An invisible ship. It was invisible. He couldn't even see it.
Like, bitch,
he guessed.
Get away from me.
My house. Get off my lawn. But so Thor goes in. I'm pissed because the clips that we were given and I was religiously saving on Tumblr was not. They edited it. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised. That's what they do in movies.
Tumblr.
But this is probably going on Tumblr. Hi. But it was not. They left stuff out. In the conversation where he was like, if you betray me, I'll kill you. They like left out, like they mentioned his mom. Okay, and like
Thor said,
because Thor's like,
I don't trust you, but Mother did.
I know, and I was like, but like Thor approaches You know the scene, and Loki's like, oh, you finally come to see me. Let me see if I can quote him. Are you gonna glare? No, I can't quote him right now, but he's just basically like, are you gonna gloat? And he is like really angry, and Thor's like, enough illusions, brother. And then all of a sudden, the cage changes. Loki is not standing anymore. He's sitting against the far corner. That's where his foot is bleeding. The furniture is destroyed. His hair's a mess. He looks like a drug addict. And he's just like, now you really see me, brother. And I was just like, gone. I was like, oh, this hurts. This hurts so much.
The feels.
And basically, they had the conversation. And he has that. He was like, when do we start? I was just like, God. And then let me do this because I need to. Okay, so after when do we start? It cuts to them just walking down a corridor, and Loki's super happy, and he's walking, and he just keeps looking at Thor, and he's like, his hair's bouncing, he's prancing, he's just like, I like this, like literally, like flamboyant, like
way too
effeminate,
excited.
almost like not gay, but like
he's
really
very excited.
high. He's like on crack. He's just smiling for like no reason. It's weird and it's funny. And then he starts like really irritating Thor, like shape-shifting into people. He was like, so what's the plan? Are you gonna punch your way out of this situation? And Thor's like, if you don't shut up, I might. And he's like, fine. So he shape-shifts into a guard. He was like, how about this? And Thor was like, better company. And then he changes Thor into Sif, and he's like, my brother, you look ravishing. And he like
just hearing Thor's voice come out of Sif's
I know, the voices are the same, so Sif is speaking in this deep, like, manly voice, and Loki's just smiling away. Hold on. the best part of the movie. But no one in this right mind would watch this video without, watching the movie.
No, you don't put big spoilers.
This is big spoilers. And so he's like, change me back, and so he did, and he was like, maybe I should change myself into something you'd like, or that would be more suitable. And so he goes back to being Thor, and then a pillar gets in the way, so you can't see what he like transforms. And I'm like, he's gonna be Jane. Oh my god. he transformed into fucking Captain America, Steve Rogers, and he has the outfit on, he has the shield. What does he say? He's like, I feel courageous, and he's just like,
I feel courageous. I feel righteous.
Yeah, no. And then Loki like pins him up against the wall. He's so angry, and he was like, God bless America. And then Thor like puts him in handcuffs. He's like, shut up. But Steve Rogers just bouncing around Asgard was so out of place, and like everybody started clapping. I started screaming. I wouldn't have screamed if people hadn't already been making too much noise, but it was a rite of passage. It was allowed because people were like hollering, and I was just so I screamed yes multiple times. I couldn't hear most of the dialogue.
That's what she said.
And that was probably my favorite part of the movie, I'm not gonna lie, because it was so unexpected. So a lot of unimportant stuff happens. A lot of threats. People threatening Loki, if you betray Thor, I'll kill you. And he's like, yeah, get in line. He literally says that. There's a line waiting.
Yeah. Apparently there's a line.
Yeah. And then we get to the ship scene where they're escaping Asgard on a ship. They hijack the Dark Elf ship. And that was a good scene. I mean, part of it's on Tumblr, but part of it isn't. And so Jane's also on that ship. Doesn't show you that.
Is she dead?
She collapses because she's still possessed with the ether. She's like dying. It's too much for her body to handle. She collapses, and Thor's like trying to steer and like freaking out. And Loki's like, "Oh dear, is she dead?" And Thor's like, "Shut up! Like I'm gonna kill you!" And of course, he's making all these really horrible jokes about everything along the way of their escape. And eventually Thor pushes them out of the ship.
But it's all part of it.
But it's all part of the plan. But he did it out of annoyance. He pushed him like out of the ship in air and landed on a boat with
Zachary Levi.
Yeah, I forget the character's name. The blonde. He was beautiful. He was good in that movie. Not much to say about him.
Yeah,
I mean, he's pretty cool at fighting. And he had girls on him, as usual. I mean, that's kind
of the character, though.
Yeah. So they escape into this barren wasteland. What did they call it? Something like the Dark World? I don't know.
It was the home of the darkness. I think it was like Svet.
Oh, Sveldenheim. It was like Russian or something in German combined. I don't know. I'm illiterate. Whatever. But
you are failing your English. Let's not get it started.
They know about that. Let's not speak of her. But stop. Okay, let's get back to business. We're only like a third way of the movie because I'm just too wrapped up in Loki right now. Okay. So
get to the barren wasteland. The point of that was to draw Malekith away from Asgard because Malekith was looking for the Aether. So because
which isn't Jane.
I was trying to continue since you.
But Jane is not having it. Her body's like, no, man, I can't do it. So they, like, have this plan, and they don't tell you. I mean, I kind of knew, because a few things gave it away. All right, Loki would not do this. All right, so you see Loki, and he's in the handcuffs, and he was like, do you trust me, or you should trust me? And Thor's like, no, if I wouldn't, you wouldn't if you were me, whatever, I can't speak. And so he, like, unhandcuffs him, and then he shanks Thor, as usual.
Loki stabs them.
As usual.
Was,
like every movie they've ever done.
Upset, so.
He was really mad, because he's like, into Thor. I know I'm wearing this.
What guy isn't, though? I mean, because Thor's kind of the ultimate, like, masculine personality.
I know. That's why I don't like him. But, I'm only wearing this in the gauntlet because they didn't have any, like...
She has a cape made out of...
No! Yeah.
Pillow cover.
Shut up! It was the only cape I could find. He was making a cape. Whatever. Some guy complimented me. I, like, walked in, and he was like, nice cape! And I'm like, thanks, bro. But anyway. Right, so Loki shanked Thor with a little dagger and kicked him in the face, and that's what we see in the trailer, and then he cuts off his hand, and I'm like, alright, should I call shenanigans? Like, no. And there was no blood, anyway, and I'm like, let's get real.
There wasn't any blood anyway in the movie.
There was just a lot, like a little bit. Like when Frigga, there wasn't a lot, but... Huh?
They had to keep it rated PG-13.
Whatever. And, so I was like, okay. And then he, like, takes Jane and, like, throws her to the ground in front of Malekith. And I'm just thinking, like, oh my god, Tom Hiddleston is probably, like, kicking himself in the face. He's probably, like, apologizing on, like,
I'm sorry for throwing you.
Did I throw you too hard, darling? Let me buy you the world. I don't know. I mean... And then he was like, I am Loki of Jotunheim. I'm like, alright, I call bullshit. This isn't real. And of course, it wasn't as a ploy to get close to Malekith. And then Thor was an illusion. That whole thing was an illusion. So his hand is like grown back. It grows back.
Don't worry.
And fight scene, Thor gets manhandled. The ether's really strong. Malekith, the Ninth Doctor. Sorry, he's not the Ninth Doctor yet. Malekith is pretty pissed. I'm drawing a blank on that scene. I don't remember.
What?
It wasn't really my favorite.
When what? When they were fighting?
Loki. Okay, Thor was about to die. Some giant was about to stab him, and then Loki, like, you see him running over, and he stabs him, but then he gets stabbed, and so I was like crying. Really confused. Alright, let me break it down. Thor's on the ground, he's about to die by some big-ass elf, high in ether.
The one that...
He's, like, gonna, kill him, right? And you see Loki, and nope, Loki comes from behind and kills the elf. But then somebody else...
shoves a spear through him, okay?
But then somebody else kills Loki, like, comes up.
No.
Yeah?
The big dude that was on, like, steroids, right?
Right.
Beating up Thor.
Ether.
Right?
Ether.
Steroids. Loki comes up behind him, stabs him with a spear, right?
Alright.
Now, that guy, remember, grabs Loki and pulls him into it.
Wait, is that what happened? Sorry,
yeah.
I was just drawing a blank. Yeah. It was kind of boring.
So, Loki stabbed the spear into the big dude.
That is hardcore.
Takes up Loki and just, like, pulls him into himself and just, like, staring at him. And that's when Loki presses, like, a grenade that's on the big dude.
Oh, yeah, he goes, see you in hell.
Yeah.
And then I was like...
Because the grenade's, like a matter thing, so when it explodes, it sucks all the matter.
It's like a black hole. It's unimportant. But anyway, so Loki's dying. I'm crying. The whole audience is crying. Mostly girls. Me. Yeah, Tim wasn't, but he was like touching me. He was like, "Are you okay?"
So he dies.
Yeah, he turns like kind of black.
Stonish.
And it's really sad because he's Thor. I don't want to go there. He's like holding him, and he was like, "No, brother, I will tell Odin I will tell Father what you have done here." And he was like, "I didn't do it for him." And I'm like, like trying. I was like, "Oh God!" And then he just apologized. He just looks up at Thor, and he was like, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry." And he just keeps repeating it. And Thor's like, "It's okay, Loki. It's okay." And I'm just like.
And then he kicked the bucket.
And he died. They left his body, him and Jane, just like peaced out.
I remember that. I was like, they didn't even take his body.
Isn't there some Asgardian ritual where you should like...
Well, technically, he's not an Asgardian.
Oh my god, let's not go there right now. I'm not kidding. And, a lot of unimportant stuff happens. Eric Selvig
is naked.
Is gone. I mean, he's not recovered from the Avengers yet. He's still, Clint, it only took Clint like a couple of hours because I guess Natasha, the cognitive recalibration worked, hit him really hard in the head, and he was able to.
So did he.
But I guess Eric was never hit in the head. I don't know.
He was. He hit his head, remember? I think it was more like...
He just went crazy, so he like was at Stonehenge, like everybody knows Stonehenge, and he was just like naked running around screaming at people.
I can save you!
Yeah. So he's in a mental war, Darcy and our intern goes to find him because Malekith is trying to get the ether because the worlds are lining up. That's the whole premise, the worlds are lining. Think of Hercules. The world, oh my god, it's like Hercules. Oh my god, I'll get to that later. The world's lining up, he's getting his ether, destroy everything, and just go back to darkness because like, it's boring. Who wants to do this? Who? The doctors. Anyway.
Time War.
Oh no, it's a Time War. Oh my god! The darkness is really just a metaphor for the void. Where the Doctor sent all the Time Lords. Thor 2 was basically a mashup of like Transformers / Thor / Doctor Who. There's a lot of like physics involved, but like if you watch Doctor Who, you'll get it. It's weird. Thank you, Doctor Who.
You will never understand Doctor Who.
So like they're preparing for the big battle. Everybody goes back to Earth. Then they fight. I mean, it's cool, I guess. I mean, the gravitational fields, Jane's, like, messing around with them, so there's portals to every world, and, like, Thor and Malekith are fighting, like, trying to hit each other, but they keep falling into, like, gravitate, and just, like, it's like, have you ever played the game Portal? That's what it is, except you're fighting somebody hand-to-hand. It's just weird.
It's kind of dumb how Jane can create a portal.
We don't like Jane. I just not developed enough, in my opinion, but anyway. So, a big fight happens, Thor's okay. Jane's okay. Malekith sucked out the ether. And, oh yeah, he sucked out the ether in the Sveldenheim, and he has it in himself. And everything goes back to being normal. Thor goes back to Asgard, and everything's like rebuilt really fast, like really fast. And you see Odin on the throne. And he's like, let me get to that in a second. I just realized something.
I was like, I thought you were talking about the noise in here.
Nope, that's the neighbors. He was like, you once said that there would never be a wiser king more than me. Oh, I butchered that, but you know what I mean. You know that quote. And so they have this big talk, and Thor's like, I don't want to be king, I just want to live my life, and I'll defend Asgard, of course. So he pulls a Hercules, if you've ever seen, like, the cartoon movie. He's just like, no, I'm gonna stay and chill out and have a life, even though I'm, like, gonna live 5,000 years, and Jane's gonna live, like, 80 at most. So Owen was like, okay, fine, I love you. No, he didn't say that. But he was like, I can't give you my blessing, but go, do what you must. And he was like, thank you, Father, then he leaves. And then fucking Loki. It's Loki on the throne. He shapeshifts back. And he's like, no, thank you. And then the movie just ends. And I'm just like, my little baby got a hold of the throne. No, I was going to say, how did he know that Thor said, there will never be a wiser king than you? He was in the abyss. He threw himself.
Ooh.
How? Did I get you there?
You did.
I don't know. I mean...
You did. Yeah, because...
That didn't register.
Nope.
Unless Loki's, like, a mastermind.
No, no. See, I should have never...
It could be, like, I could be totally...
You just, like, blew a hole in it.
No, I could be, misinterpreting everything.
No, you're not, because Odin said that to Thor, right?
And yeah, and Loki was gone.
Yeah,
Loki was gone. He was, like, on his way to Chitauri and the Avengers. But that was, like, the movie. I really didn't care that much.
It was pretty good.
We talked about it on the way home. I think it's a weak plotline, honestly, but it's so exciting you don't care.
Yeah.
It's like one of those movies until you need to settle down and think about it, because if I were writing it, it feels like a Power Rangers episode, if you ever watched the Power Rangers. Like, you have this epic battle, yeah, and, like, the whole world depends on this battle, yeah, but, like, you can always make an epic battle, always. And it's just kind of like, Thor was solid, like the first Thor. The Avengers was solid. This one was just kind of like, out of nowhere, the Dark Elves. I think they should make a movie where Loki is true to his myth and has children that is a snake and a wolf, the giant. And he has a snake for a child and a wolf Fenrir, and Hel. He has a daughter named Hel, and she rules the underworld in Norse mythology. But, I'm pretty sure... I mean, I saw something on the internet that said...
No, Crowley rules.
Crowley also? No, I'm pretty sure that...
Okay. We're getting into a lot of fandoms tonight.
Weird is a mess, but... I'm pretty sure, for the third time, that I saw something that was like Thor 3, or suspected, I don't know, a Loki spinoff. I hope so, because you can't put him on the throne of Asgard and leave him there. Where the hell is Odin? Like, is he, like, strung up somewhere, like, hanging from the ceiling? I mean, because he came, I mean, during this whole battle, like, you don't see Loki, so you're just like, we know he's alive. You don't leave Loki. And Tom already said in an interview, he comes out alive. So...
Tom spoiled that.
I told you that during the movie. I'm like, he's not dead.
I know that, but Tom's the one who leaked that.
Yeah. He said that and Jane. Ruined? I knew Jane was gonna. He said, like, him and Jane were gonna be okay. I think that was already implied. You can't really kill off Loki. You tried once in Thor. It didn't work.
It's kind of a demigod.
I feel like him and Percy... Fanfiction time, dude. Him and Percy Jackson. Who would win? Come on. Come on. Loki. He would duplicate himself and stab Percy in the back. I feel like Loki's way OP, and they're not letting him.
Well, I mean, Thor's starting to recognize.
I feel like Loki could kill Thor in a minute if it came down to basic powers, because Thor has the hammer, and if you touch, if you put the hammer on Loki's chest like he did in Thor, you're done. But Loki can duplicate himself.
But it did come down to the battle in the first Thor.
No, I'm talking about if no one was writing it. If it was just them battling, like...
In real life?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean... Loki could literally, like, stab Thor from all sides without a hammer hitting one of them. I don't know. But, yeah.
Go see it. If you haven't seen it before you watch this video.
Yeah, see it more than once. I'm going to see it more. I'm going to see it again. My mom wants to see it.
Nah, she's going to see it anyway.
I know. It's long.
It's like this video.
This video is a half an hour long. I'm still going to put it up. I don't care.
If you made it to this end, Olivia's going to give you free money.
What money? Send you nudes. I'm just kidding.
That's more what I was thinking. I was like, wait a sec, you're my girlfriend. Why would I let you send it nudes to people?
To make them appreciate. No, I'm just kidding. They already. I post a picture of Poison Ivy, so they know that I'm scarred.
Well, now they have a basis for your imagination.
Yeah, now they can imagine what my torso looks like. Oh yeah.
Our bobas.
I've posted pictures of myself in the sports while working out. They got it.
Everyone's seen that.
Instagram people. Anyway. For Loki, I feel like there was there really wasn't any character development. There was just a lot of flip-flopping. He's not evil. He's just the anti-hero, and that's... I told Tim the next person who tells me that Loki's evil, I will punch them in the genitals. Because, no. Evil? Alright, let's think of someone evil.
Adolf Hitler.
That's actually the first thing that came to mind.
That's not funny. That's usually the first thing.
He's pretty bad. No, I mean, like, movie-wise.
What
movies do I have? The guy from Mulan, the bad guy. What's his name? That's not a good example.
Scar.
Scar, I feel like, is just a really perpetuated example of Loki. Think about it. Think about it.
I don't want it right
now. But he's not evil. Like, I don't... he's not. I mean, in every interaction he had with anyone, really, in the movie...
Are we on Scar or Loki?
No, Loki. Loki. He teared up. I mean, Tom constantly had tears in his eyes, even if he was laughing. And I was like, evil people...
Because he was thinking about throwing there.
No, evil people don't cry. They don't feel pain. Loki sat in his own blood and the debris of his destroyed mirror, so that's glass, and furniture and books that his mom gave him because he was devastated. I mean, that's not evil. That's just, you're a prick and you're doing bad things. I could go on forever. Man, there's so much I want to say, though.
So
anyway, no character development, but, he didn't betray Thor. No, he betrayed Odin. He didn't betray Thor. He saved him multiple times. And vice versa.
At least he was nice to Thor when he was acting as Odin.
He was a little bitch. I mean, yeah, he was nice. Yeah.
Still confused on how he knew that. That's a good point.
Maybe he, like, tortured... I don't know.
No.
Maybe he can fuck with your mind. I mean, obviously he can, but...
I have slim to...
So...
Center ask, please.
About what? Oh, if you want to talk about it?
Yeah, so that you can be, like, relieved of your burden.
I know, I'm dying. This is 35 minutes long and I'm dying. I still have so much more to talk about. But the audience, one of the best things about going to a movie about opening night is the audience. They're very responsive. People were clapping when Loki shapeshifted into Steve. And I
couldn't hear half the dialogue.
Yeah,
they were
loud.
More things. I think he was saying something about the tightness of the suit. Like,
really?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. I lost my train of thought. No, crap, what was I saying? Pretty sure when they were Yep. Okay. So, you know how in Thor they mentioned it was genius continuity. It was good. Loki was like, I know passageways out of this realm that you don't. And Heimdall, this movie, was like, then show me and I'll help you escape with Thor and 3 warriors and stuff. And so it's like through a crack in a wall and they're flying a plane or a ship through it. And Thor's like, no, we're not going to make it. No, don't. And Loki's like, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. And he's like crazy eyes, like crack addict face. And like he scrapes, so he's like going into the tunnel. And he's like scraping the walls. And he comes out and all you hear is, because it doesn't show him, it just shows the ship hovering above the world. And all you hear is his voice. Ta-da! And people were just like screaming, like laughing. But Tim likes Thor, and I shouldn't say.
It's a strong word.
I think that they need to sit down and they need to have therapy. A lot of it. They need to talk about it.
You should be the
I'd be too. I think I'd assault Loki.
That's okay.
That is so okay. And you would assault Thor. You could have Sif.
No.
You could have Sif. Yeah, you take Sif and I'll take Loki. Even though he'll probably kill me.
Sif.
I don't care. I mean, yeah, she would.
Who wouldn't pick me?
You can shoot a bow. Underwater. Yeah, you could shoot a bow. Yeah. You go hunting. But, this was such a bad video. I had never made one of these before.
It was probably entertaining in some parts.
If anything, my hair.
Fabulous.
It's limp now. But
damn.
I have pictures that I will put up. And
I'm in them, don't worry.
He's in like a few. He didn't dress up.
What?
Nobody dressed up except those Asian girls, and I was like, the hell?
And everyone like showed up 5 minutes before the movie.
I know.
There wasn't a line.
There was no line, there was no excitement until you actually sat down, and then you felt like the buzz. Who needs drugs when you can go to an opening night movie? Shut up. Okay. I should have said that.
40 minutes.
40 minutes. I'm gonna post this on YouTube and Tumblr.
Do it. I want to see if anyone actually made it through. Okay.
No,
if you made it through all the way to this, comment.
Or you can't comment on Tumblr. Send me an ask. Oh, maybe. No, I don't think on videos you can. Maybe.
Okay, send her and ask me that us. What should like the word? We should think of
I almost said safe word.
Safe word?
Do you know what that is?
Yes, I know what that is.
What's that safe word? Let's not go there. Tonight, anyway. Alright.
You should send her, like...
What if they skip to the end? No, little bitches. No, I don't care.
Bitches.
I don't care.
Alright,
think it's something clever. I bet Sam will watch this entire video. Hi, Sam.
Send her
Star Spangled Loki. I don't know. I was just thinking.
It makes sense because he said God bless America.
He said God.
Star
Loki. Think about this.
Loki.
Just think about this before I go. Loki said God bless America, but in like an accent.
When he was like
an American accent.
But when he was as Captain America.
Yeah. So he was pushed up against the wall by Thor, right? And he was like, God bless America. And I was go to the movie just to see that and anything else. I didn't. No one warned me that Captain America is gonna make a cameo. I mean, that's not okay.
It was funny. It was good.
I thought Jane, because the pillar, and I'm like, cool, it's gonna be Jane. It's gonna be boring. It's gonna flirt with Thor. No. Oh, and if you haven't seen Tom's new video on MTV, go watch it, because it's funny. You've probably seen gifs of it. Like, what's his name? He's with Josh. I think that's his name. The guy who did the skit with like Wendy and Steve, but they had a sleepover, and they're fighting with pillows and Tim. I always get you mixed up. And Tom dances on the bed, and he thrusts his hips into the air. Ovaries were just like.
Girls. All right, so send her and ask me that said Star Spangled Loki.
Star Spangled Loki.
Because I want to see how many actually make it through this whole thing. Props to you. You are a good one.
I love you all, and go watch the movie.
Why not turn back?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. Bye-bye.